Okay, I'm going to cue Chair Gillum to call this meeting to order via Zoom.
I call this meeting to order. Sorry, I'm trying to switch between the agenda on my phone and the meeting here, so give me a second to pull that up. Okay, so item 1.1, call to order, and item 1.2, I request that staff confirm that the Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been properly provided.
So we'll ask Margie to confirm that for us.
I can confirm that the packet was posted and the required notice of the meeting was provided.
Okay, thank you.
So,
So that would lead us to a roll call.
so I'm going to call the roll here. Commissioner Gilmore,
Present.
Commissioner Driscoll,
Present.
Commissioner Seibel,
Present.
Commissioner Mike Sell,
Present.
Commissioner Martin,
Present.
Commissioner Baffa,
Here.
and Chair Gillum.
Here.
So we have a full quorum of the membership of 7 members, and that allows us to proceed with holding today's meeting and conducting the business. So I'll turn it back to the chair to consider item 2.1.
Item 2.1 is the approval of the minutes from our September 29th meeting. I'll give everyone a second to review those, and then if there's any discussion or questions of staff. Does anybody have any questions for staff today? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
I would move to approve those minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so there's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the September 28th, 2021 special meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Special meeting minutes have been approved. You may all be wondering why staff called you together on this beautiful afternoon, but the Salina City Commission, who appoints members to its advisory boards and commissions, asks that each board and commission prepare a report of their previous year's activities for their benefit. They like to see how often the board's been meeting, what business it's conducting, whether the members are actively attending the meetings and conducting business. So each year, staff compiles information for its boards and commissions, and then the purpose of this afternoon is for members of the Heritage Commission just to review the report that we put together, address any questions that board members might have. We particularly ask you to look at your attendance records and see if that accurately reflects your recollections. And then the other part is we have membership contact information. So if we have something on there that's out of date or we don't have up-to-date contact information for you, this is an opportunity for you to update that information. And then on the final page, we just provided a summary of the specific cases that the Heritage Commission reviewed in 2021. And so the board met, I believe we had a total of 3 special meetings and 2 regular meetings in 2021. We also had a study session in September for new members and to review the bylaws and responsibilities of the Heritage Commission. There were not any nominations for placement of a building on the National Register of Historic Places, but we have had, in the past 2 years, we've had several buildings where developers have expressed an interest in getting a building placed on the National Register to have the opportunity to access historic tax credits for the restoration of those buildings. We didn't have any of those in 2021, but those are generally referred to the Heritage Commission to review to see if the Heritage Commission is supportive of adding those properties to the National Register. So I think you've had a chance to review the report that we put out. We're certainly open to any questions that you have, and if there's any corrections to your attendance or to contact information, let us know. And if it all seems to be correct summary of what happened last year, then at the close, we would just ask for a motion from the Heritage Commission to forward this report on to the City Commission as a report of your 2021 activities. So with that, I'd turn it back to the chair to see if there's any comments or questions that commission members might have.
Anybody with questions for staff regarding the attendance or any of the meetings that were held in 2021?
Yeah, I just wanted to see, is it possible to reflect that I was not actually available to serve on all 5 meetings? My attendance looks terrible, being appointed so late in September.
Yeah, I think when I look at that, we had the slight, the confusion of, we've had Mr. Baffa, who served both as representative of the Planning Commission and as a regular appointed member. So he was on the commission for all 5 meetings, but I don't believe that it's entirely possible that you were only on for 1 meeting, the September meeting that we had. So we will go back and look at that, but I don't think, given that you were appointed in and had your first meeting in September 2021, I don't think that the 5 meetings should be correct. So could you make a note of that, Margie, and we'll go back and look at that?
Yeah, we'll get that fixed.
And so you're saying that I didn't miss a meeting?
No, we showed you I think the confusion was that for the January through August of 2021, you were the Planning Commission representative on the Heritage Commission, and then from that point forward, you were a general member, and Mr. Gilmore became the Planning Commission representative. But because Mr. Gilmore didn't become the Planning Commission representative until September, there's no way he could have had an opportunity to attend 5 meetings. So we're going to get that item corrected.
Along with that, should we add an asterisk to Commissioner Baffa's name, as he served as the Planning Commission representative for the previous 8 months?
Yeah, we can put that there, and we may put something in parentheses there that he was appointed 9/1/21, because he is now a regular member of the Heritage Commission and not on behalf of the Planning Commission. So I think we can clarify that. Has everybody looked at it?
Dean,
Yes.
sorry, Dean, do we need to make a motion for those changes, or is that just handled in-house?
Well, I think if we identify those things here, if we get to the point of making a motion to forward this on to the city commission, then the maker of that motion can just direct staff to correct the meeting attendance items before we get it to the city commission.
Okay,
I'll move that we approve the annual report with the noted corrections.
I'll second that.
okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the annual Heritage Commission meeting notes, along with the corrections to the attendance by Mr. Gilmore and Mr. Baffa. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we will forward this report on to the city commissions, just so they have knowledge of what the Heritage Commission has been doing and that you have an active membership. We don't have any preliminary discussion items for you this evening. As far as other business, we have a scheduled, on your schedule, quarterly Heritage Commission meeting that's supposed to occur the last Wednesday of April, which I believe is April 27th. And I have been in contact with the State Historic Preservation Office, and they have expressed a desire to come out to Salina that date, or possibly join a Heritage Commission meeting via a Zoom, but to have a dialogue with the Heritage Commission about what's going on at the State Historic Preservation Commission, what they can do to assist. And then the other thing that's important is that the city of Salina is what's referred to as a certified local government because of our Heritage Commission and the staff that we have. So what that means is when there's a historic preservation question or demolition or designation or something, that the city of Salina can handle that locally. In the communities or counties that aren't certified local governments, then those cases are heard by the State Historic Preservation Office. And so we're getting close to the time when the city would review and renew its certified local government status. So they've requested an opportunity to meet with the Heritage Commission and have some discussion and dialogue with you. So I just wanted to let you know and let everybody have a chance. It's part of the published schedule, but I just wanted to see if that April 27th date was going to work for the members, because we wouldn't want to bring somebody out from Topeka or have them join a meeting and not be able to have the commission participate. So is that a date that would be agreeable to commission members to meet with the State Historic Preservation Office people?
Good for me.
Okay.
That works for me.
And so what we'll do is coordinate that date with them. They have as part of the certified local government, they have kind of a questionnaire thing, and they'd like to go through with the individual commissions and commissioners. So I think what I've told them is that we may or may not have any local applications or business on that meeting, but that we would basically make that meeting available to them for whatever information they want to exchange with the Heritage Commission. So that doesn't mean we won't have a special meeting between now and April 27th, but I just wanted all the commissioners to circle that April 27th date, because we will have representatives of the State Historic Preservation Office wanting to meet with you.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Application CA 21-2, the conversion of the 8-apartment building. What is the status of that? Doesn't seem to be a lot going on there.
I'm not for certain that they have a obtained all the building permits to begin work on that. We would have to check. My recollection is that there haven't been any exterior renovation permits or anything pulled on that. Their plan was to get their proposed exterior renovations approved by this board, and they can't change or deviate from that, but I don't believe that they have moved forward in any meaningful way.
Yeah, they do have new corbels.
Okay. But we would have to look at that and see what permits they have applied for and what we have issued in terms of the scope of work, but it certainly hasn't progressed very rapidly, and they haven't called us out for any inspections or anything.
Okay. And second question, there's, looks like about 4 storefronts on Santa Fe are being modified or changed. And does that come under the purview of the Heritage Commission?
The only time it would come under the purview of the Heritage Commission is a case where a building is on the National Register of Historic Places. And so the Stiefel Theater, the Masonic Temple, the Lee Lofts, those are buildings that are on the National Register of Historic Places, but we have a Downtown Design Review Board, and they are the primary reviewer of the storefront modifications. And we just met with them prior to this hour and looked at their annual report, and they had 28 applications that they reviewed in 2021, and that is the most Downtown Design Review Board cases that we've ever had. So there's a lot of that storefront activity, but the Heritage Commission's involvement is if it's a building that has a historical designation, and then we would have the Heritage Commission do that review. But if it's a building that's downtown and doesn't have a historical designation, then those are under the review of the Design Review Board. So if you're looking at the east side of South Santa Fe, there's a building that's being renovated for the Hive Beauty Salon. They've done some work, but not all. And then you've got the building next to Campbell Plaza that's being renovated for the Prickly Pear Grill and Cantina. Those items are all, those have been reviewed by the Downtown Design Review Board, but those particular buildings don't have a historical designation. One of the things that we may get into, and was kind of alluded to in the annual report, there's a number of communities in Kansas that have designated their entire downtown as a historic district. And if that was the case, then the Heritage Commission would be reviewing everything downtown. What that means is that what we've had individual owners apply and make application to get their individual building put on the national or state register so they could utilize historic tax credits. If you made the entire Santa Fe downtown a historic district, then every building owner would be eligible for those tax credits, but it would also mean a bigger role for the Heritage Commission looking at those changes. But right now, if it's an older storefront building and it doesn't have a historic designation, then the Downtown Design Review Board reviews it, and if it's a designated landmark building, then the Heritage Commission is going to look at it, like the Stiefel
You
Theater.
mentioned the east side. What about the west side?
Well, there's a building that is just to the south of what I call the National Bank of America building that's now, I believe, referred to as the Hoffman, and there's some storefronts there that are being renovated. and the owner attempted to get that building placed on the National Register of Historic Places, but that designation did not get approved. But those have all been reviewed by the Downtown Design Review Board.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did a good job, Maggie, explaining that, but Maggie served on both the Design Review Board and the Heritage Commission, and they have slightly different roles. But is that a fair statement, Maggie, of how those are looked at?
Yeah, I believe so. Like you said, the buildings that are on the National Register or the Kansas Register are the ones that we would be responsible for looking at. I believe there's also a few other buildings or homes, Dean, maybe you can correct me, that have been placed on, is it like a city designated
Yeah,
list or something like that as
We have what we
well?
call a conservation property, and so there's different buildings that they're not protected from modification, but they can't be, there's a number of historic homes and other buildings that they can't be demolished without Heritage Commission approval. And so Hawthorne School was not a national or state register property, but it was what we call a locally designated conservation property. So when there was a proposal to demolish Hawthorne School, that had to be reviewed by the Heritage Commission. So that there's about 200 properties that fall in that category, but that is a protection from demolition, not necessarily a review of alterations.
And last question, what's the status of St. John's? No, for sale locally.
The status of St. John's presently is we have a applicant who submitted an application last week seeking financial assistance from the city's housing incentives to convert that into a senior apartment, senior housing project. They, at this point, only have a contract to purchase that, but the Sunflower St. John group that purchased it from Salina Regional Health Center and did some partial demolitions and had plans approved by the Heritage Commission and applied for National Register designation, just decided they didn't want to move forward with that project and put the property on the market. And there's somebody who has a pending contract to try to purchase that and has submitted requests to the city for financial incentives to assist them with their renovation project, but that just remains to be seen whether they have the wherewithal to follow through with that.
Are they seeking a historical designation?
Well, the state historical designation is been approved. The National Park Service, what they essentially have said that they want to see the developer remove all the non-historic parts of the hospital building and then evaluate so they can see what the historic building is that would be left, and then upon seeing that happen, they would designate the original and 1951 additions on the National Register.
That's a lot of money to maybe not get any relief.
Yeah, and that was part of the, we had cases, Lowell School, we had the Norton Apartments over on East Iron, we had other buildings that went, they went to the state put them on the state register, they went to the National Park Service, the National Park Service approved their National Register designation, so Lowell, the former Lowell School is on the National Register of Historic Places, but they kind of balked at the St. John's Hospital because what they were being asked to designate was still attached to some modern additions that weren't supposed to be part of things. So they basically, the Park Service told the owners to get back with them after they had removed the non-historic parts of the hospital. But you're correct, the demolition of the non-historic parts of that hospital is going to be a costly endeavor. So all of the paperwork, everything's been filed, the National Park Service has everything. They're waiting to see whether someone's going to remove the non-historic parts and leave the historic part remaining, and then they'll designate the historic part on the National Register. That's what I've been told, so. Anybody else have any other questions about goings on? Said I don't think we've ever had so much storefront activity in the downtown we're going to run out of buildings to renovate soon, so.
And so are those renovations have tenants lined up?
For the most part, yes.
Anything exciting?
No, there's just some different relocations and things shuffling around. Blue Beacon was renovating a building on North Santa Fe, and the Ad Astra bookstore was going to move from its present location to that new location, which would then open up that building. Some of the renovations have not occurred. There's some talk about the Lee Lofts doing a phase 2 and phase 3 of their building renovation there at Santa Fe and Elm. And so there may be some things that the Heritage Commission would review relating to that. But the activity still seems to be pretty strong in the buildings that are located downtown. So Dustin, do you see anybody present in the public forum?
Potentially. There's a number I don't recognize, so if anyone from the public would like to speak, now would be an opportunity to share any thoughts or ideas or concerns. Does not appear we have anyone interested in speaking.
Okay, well, I don't see anything else on the agenda, so that being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I think I heard a motion and a second there, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
So
all right, thanks, everybody.
we'll alert you about what will be happening on the 27th of April. We'll try to get that to you well in advance.